So many of you have asked us, how do you go about getting TRT or getting on TRT? What are the first steps? What do you need to do? We're going to talk about it after this, so keep watching. Hi, I'm Mike, the founder of Balance My Hormones, where we help men and women on their journey to optimal hormone balance. If you're new to the channel, please leave comments, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future content. So today we're here with Dr. George Touliatos, an author, TRT expert. We're here to talk about how to get TRT in essentially a few simple steps. First of all, we've talked about this in the past. Why do you need to be on testosterone? Why would you want to be on testosterone in the first place? We're not going to go into great detail on that, other than you obviously got symptoms, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So with your symptoms, these are the common symptoms. What do you normally see in your practice?
Fatigue, lack of stamina, lack of endurance, melancholy, depression, loss of libido, loss of sexual desire, erectile dysfunction, visceral fat accumulation, muscle waste, weakness. And then also we have metabolic issues like insulin resistance and diabetes, dyslipidemia, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. Okay. These are the main facts, and generally we feel like we age.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting vulnerable, and we're getting older, and aging is a disease.
Yeah.
And we age because our hormones decline.
We've talked about this, that I think you age better with TRT than without.
Nobody will avoid aging. The point is to age with dignity, self-respect, and to minimize the consequences and the side effects out of aging. That's it,
Yeah, absolutely. So that covers, some of the symptoms that would bring you to looking for testosterone replacement therapy. And in many countries, it's not always easy to get on the TRT.
So you need basically to verify the symptoms, the clinical evaluation, along with extensive lab work.
Okay.
The HPDA, the comprehensive androgen. Okay.
But who do you go to for that? Right. So the first
officially, there are two specialties: the endocrinologist and the urologist.
Okay, so the first step is you go to your GP or your primary care doctor in most countries.
Now, if you're a pathologist like me, you can read the labs. And if you specialize in some field, then you can suggest what's the problem with that. You can suggest the treatment, okay? Now, we know that endocrinology is either black or white. It's either Calvin syndrome where the hypophysis doesn't react, or Klinefelter when there's testicular failure, primary, secondary.
Right.
All right? It's like also they don't believe in adrenal fatigue, which is a gradual process of downhill. Now, the urology avoid out of skepticism and prejudice and ignorance the prescription of testosterone, and they prescribe the magic blue pill, the 5-phosphodiesterase inhibitors like Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, in order to improve the erectile dysfunction. However, they do not solve the problem where it initiates, which is a lack of sexual desire, because testosterone in cerebral is a brain hormone that affects the limbic system, the emotions, and the urge to have sex starts from the brain, and it's related to testosterone. So it's not just an artificial blood flow out of vasodilation because of those pills. So you may have a priapism and you don't want to have sex,
Yeah.
And moreover, psychiatrists basically believe that if you are depressed, okay, take SSRIs. The problem is if you are depressed because of low testosterone, low DHT, low dopamine, low serotonin, and you take SSRIs that reuptake the serotonin and increase those prolactin, you go to anorgasmia, you go deeper.
You're deeper. So if you make
deeper the problem, And again, you don't solve the problem for where it starts. Certainly there are people that have a lack of brain chemistry, serotonin, and dopamine, even though they are eugenadol. Yeah. But absolutely, if you are low T, you're going to have depression as well.
Absolutely. And I guess those people who usually complain of low testosterone, they're depressed because they can't get an erection or because they have no sex drive.
Because it affects the pride and the ego of the guy. But there is a dramatic and impressive transition from the hypogonadic level to the eugonadic level, where the depression reverses,
Right.
So this guy starts to feeling, positive, optimistic, self-esteem, cognitive function. You don't have this foggy thing, because DHT elevates. DHT is very antidepressant. Castrated men out of prostate cancer feel lousy.
Yeah.
They cannot ever tell the name, you know?
Of course.
Zero ego, foggy mind, no serotonin, no joy, and no reward because there's no dopamine.
Yeah.
So her talk describes hypogonadal men drive to the light line with 60 kilometers, and teenagers with high testosterone ride the bike and they're daredevils with 100 kilograms on the left. Out of UK first.
Yeah, of course.
So yes, testosterone makes a man to face more challenges in life.
So testosterone makes the man
Fearless,
and they're able to
to love life more, and you can face the challenges in life. You know, you can manage the stress because cortisol is minimized. It's antagonistic to testosterone. Okay.
Of course, too low cortisol, you don't feel great either.
Absolutely, okay, but it's antagonistic. The corticosteroids with the androgens, right?
So that, again, reaffirming those symptoms why you could go on TRT. Now I want to talk about where men could go to get their TRT. So we started talking about you can go to your general practitioner, you go to your primary care doctor, you get referred to the urologist or the endocrinologist. That's usually through the public system, right? In Europe, that's usually paid for by your public healthcare system. In America, it's an insurance-based system, which it kind of acts like the government system. Or I guess if you're a veteran in America, you go to the Veterans Administration. Now, in the UK, the GP is usually run through the National Health Service unless you have a private GP, right? So that's usually the first stop people go to. But what's the problem? Many people get denied, don't they? Because you said it's black or white, or whether they get in or out of the system.
As I said earlier in the seminar, if you have 301, you don't get it prescribed. If you have 299, you get it prescribed. You're considered as healthy as 301 and ill as 299, which is BS, of course.
Of course, and that would be, just for the UK, that would be like levels under like 7 or 8 nanomoles per litre.
And as a matter of fact, you may have 350 of total testosterone, which is below, it's around 40%, 30%, and have a super high HBG and feel even more lousy with a crashed free testosterone, you know?
Absolutely, but that needs to be taken. But the traditional GP, NHS, public healthcare system, they're going to say yes or no, and they're not going to look at your free testosterone. So the other option that some guys end up doing, unfortunately, is they turn to the black market, don't they?
Because the black market is the quality of the material, you know?
Yeah.
I'm concerned about the quality, the underdose stuff, the material they put inside in the underground labs.
So really, that shouldn't be a good option for people because it is dangerous. Essentially, you don't know what you're getting. You may get some poison. I mean, we've seen labs of men who've done the self-medication on what they thought was a good dose of testosterone, and they were either underdosed or they end up having toxic heavy metals.
But underdose is the best scenario because they reach your pocket. But if it's contaminated, heavy metals, bad quality of oils, you know, this is more.
And we've seen the liver enzymes in patients that were through the roof who were self-medicating.
I don't know, maybe it was methyl testosterone was really something that can make it liver toxic, you know?
Yeah, maybe they put the wrong one in there. So again, the point is it's very dangerous to self-medicate. I mean, we're not going to demonize you if you do, and that's, I think, where you run your course for anabolic steroid harm reduction that ties into that. But there's another option that patients can go to.
Private clinics.
Private clinics, private TRT clinics like Balance My Hormones and BMH Medical. And that's where we help, and you're one of our doctors at Balance My Hormones, help those patients, get safe TRT and do it under supervision.
That more than 50% of people who are into replacement therapy worldwide now would be out of testosterone if they were relying on the NHS. Half of them are cut off.
Yeah, and they're suffering silently.
And they would suffer with those side effects just because they are slightly above the lowest level, which is of course subjective, you know.
Absolutely.
Nobody can tell you that at 299 you are not good and at 301 you're good.
Yeah, and that's what we hear from men every day. We even get men who get treated on the NHS with libido, and they come to our clinic because they're not happy with their treatment regimen.
And I'm telling you that the potential side effects of the testosterone use, actually abuse and not optimized, are way less than staying out of testosterone.
So they get the testosterone.
The potential side effects out of TRT, that actually it's out of misuse, abuse, and not optimized levels are way less rather than stay off testosterone.
Right. So what you're saying is having low levels of testosterone not being treated.
Will give you a plethora of disease.
It's more dangerous, is what you're saying.
Yes.
To have
in the long term,
low levels.
absolutely.
I think you posted an article as well about the cardiovascular issues of having low testosterone.
Even prostatic cancer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, it's debunked the myth between the direct correlation between testosterone and prostatic cancer. BPH is another story. And actually, low T leads to prostatic cancer out of estrogens. Why? Visceral fat, gynecomastia.
And estrogens raise IGF-1 levels, which help the prostate.
Not only, but the prostatic tissue is proliferated by high estrogen. Okay? And also the saturation in the theory of Mike Kocsis that says they're up to a point that the androgen receptors do not assimilate any more testosterone. Okay? So fill that.
Yeah.
TRT and HRT are about health and longevity optimization.
Yeah, of course. It's all about balancing your hormones, about being the best you that you can be, having a higher quality of life, maybe reducing some of the diseases that come with low testosterone.
Diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome, depression, or dysfunction, osteopenia, anemia. Come on.
Yeah,
it's more than having sex or getting jacked.
Absolutely.
It's about feeling metabolically healthy, and physically and mentally.
Yeah. And it's so good that you're out there spreading the word and letting people know, because it's so.
Yeah, but I have a conflict with an endocrinologist. He wants to take me in trial. And I don't say I'm an expert in all hormones, but according to the androgens, I walk the talk.
Yeah.
And we provide protocols that make men optimized.
Absolutely. And
why society prefers men with low T, the criminalization of testosterone, the feminization of men, the stigma of being an alpha male, and as he said, each generation has lower testosterone than the previous one. And lower fertility, of course, but it's multifactorial. It's the xenoestrogens and the environmental pollution, it's the stress, it's the lack of physical activity, it's the online that make you like a zombie.
Yeah, of course. And TRT won't fix all your problems. We've talked about what we do at Balance for Hormones and the private clinics. If you have any questions or you're interested in getting your blood test to find out if you are low in testosterone along with symptoms, we offer the blood tests through Balance for Hormones, as well as the support, the coaching services. But we're here to help. We found a way in the UK and in Europe to help men who are suffering from this, and we are a way for you to get better. So thank you for coming on the channel today, Dr. George, sharing your experiences. Hopefully everyone finds this helpful. Please leave comments about what you've gone through. We're happy to discuss them on a next episode, and we look forward to the next one. So thanks again.